You know that feeling when you just want to chuck your phone across the room because of one too many notifications? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, you are going to find this explainer incredibly relevant. Today, we're diving into a massive paradigm shift in wellness technology called the Adaptive Regulation Platform. Essentially, we're looking at a system designed to adapt to you rather than forcing you to constantly adapt to it. To ground our exploration, let's start with the real human stakes here. There's this incredibly powerful quote from an occupational therapy profile in our source documents that really hits the nail on the head. It highlights how managing sensory and cognitive overload isn't just, an occasional nuisance. For a lot of people, it's a constant, exhausting battle. Making practical adjustments to reduce that load is exactly what allows individuals to redirect their limited energy toward meaningful living, relationships, and just taking care of themselves. Because predictability is a huge part of this platform, here is exactly what we're going to cover today. We'll look at the human toll of dysregulation, a new paradigm of adaptation, the integrated physical ecosystem, the invisible intelligence engine, and finally, how we're expanding the adaptive platform. All right, Section 1, the human toll of dysregulation. So a really crucial point from the clinical evidence is that these functional difficulties aren't just random. They follow highly recognizable patterns. When sensory overload, unresolved uncertainty, frequent task switching, and time pressure all combine, functioning deteriorates. And it happens because of a rapid accumulation of cognitive load. Think of it like having way too many tabs open in your brain's web browser. Eventually, the whole system just freezes up, right? It becomes so much harder to sustain routines or deal with the unexpected as these demands pile up over the day. And there's a huge contrast between how we currently try to fix this and the proposed solution. Right now, people are pretty much forced to use these highly fragmented coping mechanisms. We're talking about isolated, generic devices that demand constant manual tweaking and a ton of cognitive input. The Adaptive Regulation Platform, it proposes the exact opposite. It's an integrated ecosystem that passively learns and adapts to the individual. It's a fundamental shift from generic tools to highly personalized environments. Moving right along to Section 2, a new paradigm of adaptation. If there's one single linchpin to this entire project, it is the principle of cognitive economy. The documentation defines this as minimizing unnecessary cognitive burden while strictly preserving your autonomy. Think about what that actually means. The system adapts the environment to you, but it never attempts to control you. It only asks for your engagement when it provides genuine value to you or when it needs to calibrate itself. It doesn't nag, it doesn't pressure you, and it absolutely does not foster dependency. Which brings us to the non-negotiable engineering philosophy of the platform. The core principles here are absolutely rock solid. Preserve autonomy, evidence before conclusions, and graceful degradation. That last one is actually super important. It means if a component breaks down or a sensor fails, the system still provides meaningful use. Every single component has to provide intrinsic therapeutic value even before a drop of AI or advanced tech is added. The mandate is crystal clear. Technology serves the person, never the other way around. Let's see how this works in practice. Section 3, the integrated physical ecosystem. We start with the wearable regulation interface. And look, this isn't just some shirt stuffed with wires. It is engineered from day one as an exceptional sensory-friendly garment. We're talking passive anatomical engineering, tag-free, moisture-managed textiles, flat lock seams, the works. It provides immediate comfort. Only after that is achieved can optional modular sensors, like for your heart rate or temperature, be seamlessly docked into it. The textile comes first. The tech is totally secondary. But the real magic happens when you interact with the environment. Let's say you sit down. The wearable automatically talks to the adaptive regulation chair. And forget standard furniture, okay? This is a dedicated regulation interface engineered to give you deep pressure, full-body air compression, and even haptic feedback. It's got embedded sensors monitoring your posture, your breathing, your movement, all to provide real-time dynamic support for your nervous system. Finally, that chair physically and digitally docks into the modular regulation infrastructure. This is a complete relocatable room. It perfectly orchestrates the ambient lighting, active noise masking, temperature, and even air quality completely around you. So whether you're arriving, settling in, trying to regulate, or recovering, the environment just gently shifts with you, predictably guiding you back to a state of balance. Okay, Section 4, the invisible intelligence engine. The real brains behind this operation isn't the chair or the shirt alone. It's the adaptive calibration methodology. This is an intelligence engine that's constantly cross-referencing multi-layered data.
It looks at physiological data from your body, environmental data from your surroundings, and behavioral data. Over time, it learns your unique patterns and interprets your state to recommend or even automatically trigger highly personalized interventions. But here's the kicker. It does this with incredible restraint. The algorithm follows a really strict canonical coordination loop. In plain English, it observes, it compares, and crucially, it double-checks if an adaptation is actually a good idea before doing a single thing. It coordinates a response, verifies the outcome, and then goes back to monitoring with minimal intervention. This loop guarantees that the absolute simplest effective strategy is always chosen. It prioritizes your safety and your autonomy way above blind optimization.
Section 5, expanding the adaptive platform. Because this architecture is so scalable and modular, the platform effortlessly extends to discrete everyday tools. Take the intelligent water bottle, for instance. Finally, we get a bottle that actually helps build healthy hydration habits instead of just, making you feel guilty for not drinking enough water. Or consider the Smart Mat, which provides grounding biofeedback, heat therapy, and breath pacing. These connected products give you continuous, passive support outside of the primary regulation room, and it all feeds right back into your personalized profile. This entire framework creates a massive commercial ecosystem. It's designed to easily scale across home environments, corporate offices, schools, and hospitals. By commercializing a reusable architecture rather than just isolated one-off pieces of software, the platform can power everything from focus pods in an office to mobility modules in your car. It's literally creating a world where your environment adapts to you, wherever you happen to be. It really leaves us with a profound question about the future of our well-being and our relationship with the spaces around us. What if our devices stopped notifying us, stopped demanding our constant cognitive engagement, and instead simply observed, adapted, and empowered us to thrive on our own terms? That is the bold, game-changing promise of the adaptive regulation platform. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope mapping out this paradigm shift gave you an exciting glimpse into the future of human-centric technology.